It is a beautiful Monday, and I'm joined by Rachel Nichols. Everybody knows and loves Rachel Nichols, longtime veteran journalist, host, analyst. She's done everything. Rachel, how was your weekend?
You know, I was in Orlando for the Big 3 championship game working with CBS. So it was kind of crazy to see how much that league has grown.
Yeah.
Right? When it started, it was sort of like a random off thing to do in the summer. And like, it's legit, man. They had a full packed arena and, you know, names like Michael Beasley, Lance Stevenson, Mario Chalmers winning the title. So,
yeah,
you know,
I saw that.
It's fun.
Orlando, very sunny in August. A little heat there, huh?
It wasn't my favorite location to be in August, but you know, you go where the basketball is.
Yeah, speaking of heat, my week off, I popped over to Vegas, made some bets for the season, the upcoming football season, and I saw Dave Matthews in concert. Excellent show, as always. We have an excellent show ahead. We'll do some gambling, a lot of NFL as the week. We are now 10 days away from the beginning of the NFL season. Oh, boy, I am very excited. However, before I left for vacation, there were a couple big NFL stories. Caleb Williams, is he going to mesh with Ben Johnson? I return, and it's still a problem. The Dallas Cowboys, Micah Parsons, what's going on with him and Jerry? It's still a problem. But bigger than both of those, perhaps combined, is the Shedeur Sanders developing situation in Cleveland. Folks, there's no way around this. He is the most hyped fifth-round draft pick in the history of football. And Shedeur took the field in the second half for the Browns. And as you can see here on FS1, it was a bit of a poop show in the final preseason game for Shedeur Sanders. He was an unmitigated disaster in the second half. He was 3 for 6 for 14 yards. And it gets worse. He was sacked, as you can see, running for his life 5 times for minus 41 yards. So if you're keeping track at home, Rachel and I had more net passing yards than Shedeur Sanders did on Saturday night. Folks, this was bad. But a funny thing happened as the critiques unfolded Sunday morning. And listen, I'm telling you right now, every single podcast, TV show, radio show, anybody writing about the NFL today is leading with Shedeur Sanders because it's just so wacky what's going on in Cleveland. So you guys know in Hollywood, out here in LA, that there's a thing called a Nepo baby, right? Your mom or dad were famous, so they were in music or entertainment, and they get handed something, whether it's an album, a TV role, directing, and usually they're panned. Oh, come on, Nepo baby, they were handed it. They've got to prove it before they get the accolades. The opposite seems to be happening with Shedeur Sanders. His legion of fans, he's now a celebrity quarterback, they're just expecting him to make the roster. I don't know that it's a 100% lock. I think he's going to make it. We'll know by Tuesday at 4 o'clock. But everybody's just expecting him to be given everything. And, folks, that's just not how it works in the NFL. And if you listen to Shedeur talk, I mean, after this performance against the Rams, it was bad. And there's some more bad news coming after it. But here's Shedeur talking about, oh, my gosh, how upset he was that he was pulled before getting a chance to redeem himself in the 2-minute drill.
If I could go back and do anything, I mean, it's always everything in life if you had that chance, but we don't have the luxury to travel back in time. As a kid, I want to go back and do things differently. So overall, of course, you know, you wish you can, but in the battle of the moment, in the heat of the battle, you know, you want to be that alpha, you want to be that dog, you want to be out there in that final 2-minute drive. So, you know, of course, small things, of course, frustrate, but that's what happens, you know, when you want a player to be able to change a franchise.
Yeah. Smiling on the outside, maybe crying on the inside. Listen, it was very clear he was not happy to be pulled by Stefanski. So they put in Snoop Huntley, veteran quarterback, 27 years old, second tour of duty with the Browns. He leads them right down the field for the game-winning field goal. Okay? And all these fans of Shedeur, I'm trying to understand why they love him so much. And he's a guy. I get it. His dad is Deion Sanders, and he's kind of swagged out. But he was terrible. Can we be real? Pro Football Focus had a number that was staggering. Shedeur's average time to throw was 5.13 seconds Saturday night. That's an eternity for a quarterback. And he was still sacked 5 times and playing backyard football and running around. So yet this weird thing happens. Well, wait a minute. hold on. Did you see that the Browns cut 4 of the 5 linemen who were blocking for Shedeur? They cut them on Sunday, so they weren't giving Shedeur a fair chance. Hello, guys. 2 of those linemen who were cut were also playing for Dillon Gabriel in the first half. And Dillon Gabriel absolutely cooked, moved the team up and down the field, 9 for 11, had a touchdown. And, oh, by the way, 2 of those linemen were also blocking for Snoop Huntley on that final 2-minute drive. And side note, Dillon Gabriel was not sacked. Snoop Huntley was not sacked. So Kevin Stefanski naturally is getting asked, yo, were you trying to sabotage your quarterback? Which is mind-blowing nonsense. Here's Stefanski.
Can you address this sort of persistent narrative that that you're trying to sabotage Shedeur Sanders, especially after yesterday and not putting him in for the 2-minute?
Yeah, obviously, I don't concern myself with outside type of things, but I'm committed to his development, just like all of our rookies. So we'll continue to focus on getting our guys better, and that's what we'll stay committed to, and that's what's important to me.
Yeesh. Things are not good for Stefanski. Remember, this is a guy who had to deal with the Baker Mayfield nonsense. Baker Mayfield, of course, was trying to play through an injury to grit it out. Disaster. Then he had Deshaun Watson. Awful. Let's not to speak of it. Folks, this is reminiscent of Bronny James from 2 summers ago, okay? Remember, it was like, who's the first pick in the Bronny draft? I don't know. Bronny went to the Lakers. That's all anybody cares about. Did you know Cam Ward got in a preseason fight? Good luck fighting that online. You know, how's Travis Hunter doing trying to be a generational two-way prospect? We don't know. It's all about the 5th rounder, Shedeur. Folks, I have a solution. I'm one of these guys. I like to be solution-oriented. Apparently, when the wife is upset with something, you're supposed to really listen and take it in. And I'm instantly like, let's just fast forward to the solution. I cannot deal with this negativity. So I want to deal with the solution for Shedeur. And I got shouted down in the morning meeting when I said, I got it, guys. Did you see the Raiders? They lost Aiden O'Connell. Out 6 to 8 weeks, fractured hand. If I'm the Browns, get Shedeur out of here. Please, I can't deal with this anymore. Let's just ship him to the Raiders. Jay, nobody's trading for Shedeur. Well, wait a sec. Pete Carroll did meet with Shedeur at the Combine. Shedeur loves Vegas. Go look at his Instagram from January, February. Big fan of Vegas. Called Vegas legendary. It's not really legendary anymore, but I understand. Why wouldn't the Raiders say, hey, let's bring him in to be the backup? He can learn from Geno Smith, who, by the way, struggled big time when he was with the Jets right out of college. Go ask Mark Sanchez about that. Sorry, Mark. Listen, I think Shedeur can learn a lot. Nobody's going to ask for him to start in Vegas. Why don't you ship him out of town? Hey, man, we'll take what we can get. Let's cut our losses. We don't need these headaches. And guess who else is following him out the door? The entire media. Nobody will care about Cleveland anymore. Browns, you got to fix this. Now, from one problem to another, let's go to Dallas. And Jerry Jones versus Micah Parsons. I think this is like round 9. I think. Is that where we are? Folks, I'm sure you saw the video from the weekend. The Dallas Cowboys played a preseason game. Micah Parsons, the only Cowboy on the sideline, not in a jersey. Micah Parsons also laying down on a table while the football was being played. And, of course, the media is freaking out. Who cares what happened on the field? Because it's Micah Parsons. Now, Micah's got a bad back, but Brian Schottenheimer spoke to the media and was like, hey, it came back pretty clean. You can see where this is headed. It's about to get ugly in Dallas. I already think the Cowboys are going to be a bit of a dumpster fire. But let's hear Jerry Jones talking about the situation with his star defender, Micah Parsons.
We wanted to send the details to the agent. The agents told us to stick it up our. We had our agreements on term, amount, guarantees, everything. We were going to send it over to the agent. And the agent said, don't bother because we've got all that to negotiate. Well, I'd already negotiated. I'd already moved off my mark on several areas. It's the mama-daddy deal. You go into mama, and she won't do it. And she's the boss, so much. She won't do it. So you run into daddy. Daddy says do it. And then you go back in and say, Mama, Daddy said it was all right.
You lost me there, Jerry. Sounds like a Thanksgiving dinner story from your grandpa. Listen, I don't want to be too harsh here on Jerry Jones. He's a power player in the NFL. I get it. But I am 1,000% siding with Micah Parsons here. 1,000. It's not even close. I got to pick up for the little man in this discussion with a billionaire. Jerry, this isn't your first rodeo. You know that's not how negotiations work. You can't just have a side deal with the player and then it goes to the agent. You're like, not going to happen. That's just not how it works. Now, Jerry's been down this road before. Deal with Dak was a disaster, strung it out to the last moment. Deal with CeeDee Lamb did not go well. That was ugly. But Jerry gets it on some level. We are now in an attention economy, right? That's what it's all about. Are you talking about Dallas? Yes. Is Jerry going on Michael Irvin's podcast? I didn't even know Mike had a podcast. Maybe that's new. Congratulations, Mike. And Jerry's making the rounds, and he's just talk about us. We're Dallas. Please keep us in the news. And then, as many people suspect, a deal will get done at the last moment. Chris Jones, you guys remember with the Chiefs a couple years ago, or maybe it was last year, or whenever they played the Lions in week 1, he missed the game. And it was like, okay, we got to get the Chris Jones deal done. But what's different is Chris Jones had made a lot of money. Micah's still on his rookie deal. And Jerry said something last week about how, hey, we've got him under contract for 3 more years. That sounds like he's pretty dug in. If you're a Dallas fan and you love Micah Parsons, I'm going to go ahead and guess he's the best-selling jersey on the Cowboys. If it's not number 1, it's 2 or 3. It's right there at the top. You're starting to alienate your fan base a little. Over what? A contract? Really? You were going to make him the highest paid, and now you're not because the agent's getting involved? Like, I'm just hopeful, folks, that this is the last we're going to hear of this. And Dallas, both sides come to the table and get a deal done. However, if you want to go back to this Emmitt Smith situation, which is slightly different because he was a free agent, but he was at the height of his powers. The Cowboys were a juggernaut in the mid-'90s. And Emmitt, remember, sat out the first 2 games of the season waiting for a deal, ended up getting it after they went 0-2. What happens if the Cowboys get smashed in week 1 with no Micah Parsons? Does Jerry capitulate, or does he say, we've got him for 3 more years? Well, Micah, he could bring in an independent doctor and say, oh, my back, I can't go. Hey, can't play. And this gets really ugly. Now, it could already be a lost season for Dallas, but can't we all just get along? I mean, I'm hopeful. I'm really hopeful. The Cowboys, we need stars like Micah Parsons in this league.